Mom, I have poop.
We are mildly crushing it. We're two exhausted moms try to make sense of this wild ride called raising neurodivergent kids.
We're not doctors and we're not therapists, and you probably shouldn't take our advice. We cuss like sailors and drink like pirates.
Just think of us as your inappropriately funny and brutally honest support group.
So grab a drink and lower your expectations.
Because the truth is, we need this, and we're going to keep doing this whether you're here or not.
We just hope you join us. Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm Sadie.
And I'm Morgan. What are we drinking today?
We are mimosing, and we decided it was a gauntlet cup kind of day. So cheers.
Okay, so what are we getting into today?
We decided that there's so many topics we can cover and discussions to have, and we thought it'd be really great just once in a while to throw in episodes about where we're at today in life, more of like our everyday conversations, which made us want to do this. So
we've been a little bit overwhelmed.
Drowning.
We're drowning. That's exactly what I was going to say. We're drowning a little bit.
Yeah.
So we thought it'd be a good time to talk about our here and now.
Yeah. So we just thought we'd unpack to each other and I guess everybody else out there watching us. So here we go.
So I'll get started?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
oh, wait. Weird wins?
Oh, yeah.
Or Mom Guilt Bingo? I forget which we're doing first.
Mom Guilt Bingo.
Okay. Mom Guilt Bingo.
Get your bingo cards out because it's time for Mom Guilt Bingo.
Yay!
My Mom Guilt Bingo, I will start. I have one super fast.
Good.
I will get more in detail into this, but we had a flooding incident with our daughter, and my major guilt for this was earlier in the day, I plugged the sink trying to get something done and let her play in the water in the sink. And then I was gone, and she snuck upstairs when her dad was watching her and snuck and played in the sink and completely flooded our upstairs bathroom. So I feel immense guilt for, giving her that gray area when she can't have the gray area. And I feel really guilty because that was not good.
Right. I don't know if that specific one will be on many people's Mom Guilt Bingo, but that's a good one.
Probably not, but it's what I'm really guilty about.
Bathroom from gray area.
Mainly it was because I taught her something in the gray that I shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
So that was my guilt.
Yep.
Trying to get something done, so I just threw a gray at her when it should have never happened.
Right.
Miles, I could have done that with.
Right.
Ellie. So no throwing gray out there, people.
Yeah, these kids can't. They just are not able to think like, I could do that then, but I can't now.
Yep.
So that's a hard one. Okay, my Mom Guilt Bingo. So the last day that we recorded, I totally threw my son under the bus for getting out of the car at school and forgetting his backpack. I'm not kidding you. The next 2 days, I got in my car without my purse.
You're like, sorry, kid.
I went to push the button, and it was like, nope, you're an idiot. And I was like, damn it.
That's a good one.
So that's my Mom Guilt Bingo. Our brains work super similar. So it's what it is, and we both do it. So there you go. Okay, so into
where you at?
Into our world. Man, it's been a lot. I talked about the regression Ada's going through, the leveling up. And man, this new world that she's in the video game is like 4 levels away from where David and I currently are, or where we were. Maybe we're like almost there. We're halfway there. But
I feel like it takes a long time to get leveled up with them.
Oh, yeah.
Like all of a sudden, everything's going as smooth as it can go for a minute. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, well, my whole bag of tricks just was burning basically in the yard. Like nothing's working anymore.
Yeah.
Time to rebuild that. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. About a month ago, we both noticed that she was having just a much harder time regulating. And so that's when we were like, are we leveling up? Must be. And then she kept going and we're like, oh no. Yeah, we were kind of living in a land of luxury.
That's how I feel too.
She struggled with sleep her whole life. And so we were in this phase, it was like 8 months long, where she'd wake up and I could even have her let the dog out in the morning. And she loved the responsibility, and it was like a moment for her and the dog. And then she'd get her tablet and she'd get snacks, and there was messes, but like it was nothing, no big deal. And we'd get like an extra hour of sleep in the mornings. And it was like, oh man, if this is our lives, we can do this.
Game changing.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, we can't leave her unattended for 1 minute. And it's so crazy. One morning, she literally covered her lower half in Band-Aids. Like hardly any skin was showing. And then
She loves Band-Aids.
she freaking loves, it's a sensory thing with the sticky feeling. It's not even like, she loves stickers, but not like why a lot of kids like stickers. She likes to feel them and roll them, and
Makes sense.
yeah. So Band-Aids are the same. So I told her that morning, I was like, okay, look, you can leave them on and go to school, or we can take them off and you can go to school.
But you're going to school.
Yeah, like those are the two options. And she was like, take them off. And so I was like, okay, shit. Do you want me to do it quick or slow? And she chose quick on a few, screamed every time. And then she chose slow on a few, screamed. And I'm like, let's just leave them there. You can go to school covered in Band-Aids. No big deal. It's fine. It's covered in pants. No, she wanted every single one of them off. We had to scream. Anyway, that same morning, she also found the children's medicine. And luckily it was just like she tried every single sucker in the bag of, tummy ease.
Yeah, the yum, or not yum
sucker.
tums. I don't know if that's what
Yeah.
they're called, but
Yeah. So luckily it was just that and half of a Zyrtec, children's Zyrtec. So luckily that's all it was, but like that was a really, really scary moment. So instantly all that stuff went into the garage, and then it's just kind of been like this slow realization, like, oh no, we need to really get this house safe for her, because we can't even go pee without her doing something, and we just have to hope that it's not, something dangerous for her. So we have been really, really intensely moving everything into our garage, and we put child locks up. We asked our ABA person to bring laminated stop signs. So those are on a bunch of our doors now. Just a lot of trying to teach her new things. And then also we've been in this quote unquote high functioning world. And when you have one foot in each world, the special needs world and the more typical world, you have the same expectations by society to produce a very well-adjusted, responsible, respectable human. And that's just not the case if there's special needs there. So we've had kind of that pressure on us. We've allowed that pressure on us, and she's leveled up now enough that like, no, that's not even something we need to worry about right now. We need to worry about safety. We need to help keep her regulated. We need to, help our son navigate through this also, while both his parents are extremely stressed out.
so much on the big siblings
Right.
too that you don't even
So much.
think about. And now
Yeah.
the boys are getting older and aware. We are going through a really similar thing.
Yeah.
Miles is having a super hard time.
Yeah.
I just have to share this story really fast.
Yeah,
It just feeds
please
into
do.
this. We have both, like we said, our children have been leveling up super hard. And I know you guys that are special needs parents feel this extremely, but sometimes the outside world feels way too much.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's even just really hard to be around any humans. Like you have your nerves are so shot from being on edge that you just want to hole up at home. And so we actually both had plans. And I was like, I'm not going to lie, I can't go with my plans. I don't think I can have conversations with any humans that even make sense. And she was like, well, we have plans. I was like, well, if you can't handle, if you don't want to do your plans, I'll be home. Just text me tomorrow if you feel like it, no pressure. And then I get a text from Morgan and she's like, so I can't do our plans. We're having a really extremely hard day. Yeah. Anyways, an hour later, Morgan showed up with a backpack full of cocktail stuff and a bowl of salad and a bag of carrots, because that's forever just going to be our thing. But it was just very much, we literally just sat on the couch and just flapped about how hard this is and leveling up right now. And we're both in the same spot. And sometimes you just need to, Ada feels really safe at our house. Yes. It was very...
Oh my God, it was exactly.
When leveling up is hard.
Together.
Yeah, when leveling up is hard, sometimes you just need to take a day to.
Yes, thank you for that.
To be and come up with a game plan.
Being our people.
But I was telling Morgan about how I feel like it's not until the accidents happen that you really start to look around and be aware of your space, and then you're like, oh shit, we have to make a change. Yeah. 20 minutes of peace is worth going to the garage to get
every
things
time
out
you need
of.
A knife. Yeah. Well, that same day that I walked over there to her house, my son took off on his bike and rode ahead of us over there. And so then Ada wanted to ride her bike, and I had my hands full, and she struggles on her bike. She really kind of needs a hand from me to, help her along. And so I was trying to say no, and just meltdown ensued. That was something I could give in on, so I did.
So what did your meltdown look like though? What did you paint us a picture?
Oh, she was screaming outside our house. Screaming outside our house. I mean, I don't even know how do you paint that picture,
I feel like it was bad enough to where you showed up, you had like tears in your eyes. And
so it was kind of funny because it was this like the emotional roller coaster of like having to cancel plans that, it was with people I really wanted to spend time with, people that my kids needed and wanted to spend time with. And it was just too much. And so it was that roller coaster of that being hard, but trying to like, kind of reground myself and like, okay, but this is what we need right now. And then, yay, we get to go hang out at Sadie's and we're all excited. And then like, again, oh no, even this isn't going to be easy. And then it's like, she wanted to ride her big girl bike. She kept saying big girl bike. And it was breaking my heart because I want her to ride her big girl bike. She's getting more confident with it. Like that's a huge thing that she wanted to do. But she didn't understand that I won't be able to help you. I don't have the hands. And what that usually means is that we go back to the house and I'm carrying the bike on top of everything else. And I literally wasn't going to be able to do that. So I gave in, put my stuff down, helped her get her bike. And I was just basically walking like 5 feet in front of her just to get her to keep going in forward motion, basically. And she would like hit a point where she'd struggle and she'd scream and melt. And I mean, we're out like, if that were outside my house, I would definitely peek out just to make sure everyone's okay.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? And so like I've said, I do a pretty good job at making sure the world disappears, but it just was like too much in that moment to feel like I had eyes on me, while we're like in this really vulnerable spot. And I just started crying like 5 feet in front of her, and she would struggle and I'd just kind of stop. And then she's like, Mom, I figured it out, after screaming and crying for a minute. And I told Sadie, I was like, when the tone that comes out of your mouth even surprises you, you're in a bad spot. You're in like an alternate reality, because I would be like, yay, good job. Like it was like,
and then it was, I mean, it's not funny, but you guys probably all understand this because I feel like this is a very common thing. But then Morgan was like, I was crying on the way here and I was surprised by my own voice. And I was like, oh my God, I literally picked Miles up from school on Friday, the kids, and Ellie had something else, which is just every day lately. And then Miles had a hard day. And then I just was silently crying on the drive home. But I was like, how's everyone's birthday. And you're right, though. It's
Yeah.
just, sometimes it's just too damn much. And
Yeah.
you just, I don't even know.
Well, so I got to her kitchen and I started unloading like my bags that I was carrying over. One of them was my computer because maybe we were going to do like some mildly thriving business stuff. No, we didn't. I didn't need to bring that. The other was her in her bag, and the puppy's getting big. She's heavy. And then the other was all the booze that I had on my back. And I couldn't help but think to myself, like halfway there, like, Morgan, this would be a lot easier if you weren't carrying so much booze on your back.
But it was such a necessity that day.
It was for us anyway. So anyway, yeah, that was a really, really important moment. That really helped me a lot. But it's just a constant right now. And it's also a really busy time of year. My son both of them play soccer. I've talked about that before, but we're doing a ton of soccer. School is still kind of getting going, really, where we're like getting to know the teachers. And for special needs, that's a bigger task.
Yep.
To really get to know
It's a big task for
teachers
any kid, but then the
Yes,
special needs
yes.
really is just like,
yeah.
What
Well,
the
I
fuck?
remember like I can go back to, when my son gets a new teacher and when he has in the past, it's like, what's not to love? Like I'll hear from him when I need to hear from the teacher, like no big deal, just really kind of sitting back and being open to whatever the communication style the teacher had. And with Ada, I'm just a lot more sensitive to it because, for instance, her thing right now is playing on her teacher's computers. Like that's a hard no.
dang, yep.
That is a hard no. And it's not that I think she's not going to be loved by her teachers, but
She's mischievous,
right.
I guess
she's
you would say.
hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. And I just am always wanting to like be in her corner just to make sure people see the good in her too.
Yep.
And I can't help but wonder if certain people don't see that.
Yep.
And I think that that's just natural. That's not a reflection of the other people that I'm talking about. It's a reflection of us as moms.
I feel that same thing right now and always, but
Yeah.
I'm feeling it so much right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
no one's seeing my kid of what she's like at home because
Right.
we're so
Right.
dysregulated
Yeah.
in that environment. It's freaking hard.
Yeah.
I feel like right now, our baselines, when your child levels up, our baselines we are not able, like I am not able to get to baseline right now.
Yes.
I feel like every
Yeah.
single effing day, it's something just like, what the fuck?
Right.
Every day lately
Yeah.
for weeks now. And I'm like, I think I'm going to lose my shit probably.
Yeah.
Hasn't fully happened yet, but
Yeah.
literally just like treading water.
Oh, I'm drowning.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't think
You know what I
my
heard
mouth
her
is
say?
under right now. I think it's just my eyeballs
Yeah.
speaking up like a little otter. Just
I'm like sideways, like
oh my God. We're just under and we have like the little straw poking
Yeah.
up, like enough to breathe barely, but like you're doing
and I've
it.
got my arm up for help.
Yeah,
Like
someone see me.
No, I heard a quote from the book that you recommended, actually, the Autism Out Loud. That book was like literally
Please
life-changing.
read that. Anyone that
it's
has
amazing.
autism in their family, if you have
Oh my
family
gosh.
members that have it,
Yes.
the authors are phenomenal. 3 women who have lived deeply all different scenarios for their special needs kids. And
Yeah, that
It
might be
was-
one of the most powerful ways to show up for a family member, either parenting or living with autism, is reading that book. It's
And
so powerful.
I read that super far and 4
Yeah.
years into our journey. And I
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah.
it was life-changing.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was in that book that I heard if you don't, and I'm going to get it wrong, but something like if you don't put a hand up for help, no one knows you're drowning.
Yep.
Or if you don't ask for,
Which it's so hard to ask for help.
yeah. It's basically asking for help. But yeah, something like if you don't ask for help, no one knows you're drowning. And that it's really hard to do when like you're so busy drowning, you don't even know what you need help in.
Well, and that's the thing. And then I like had this mini meltdown last night, and I was texting a couple of my girlfriends, and I generally talk about like emotions and things like that, but I was really just like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking dying right now. Like there's so much going on. I'm just like, is this fucking real life? And I just feel like in that moment, that was enough. And they're like, what can we do to help? And I'm like, oh, nothing, that was great. Thank you for letting me vent. Thanks so much. Like that's literally, I feel so much fucking better actually. I wasn't just like, oh, there's a lot going on with school, I'm stressed out. I was actually just like, dude, we're going through this stuff right now and all these things. And every day I'm like, I need to get to baseline, and then I feel good for an hour and then pick the kids up. And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? Just how do we get to baseline?
I just had a similar moment this morning where we were having a super hard morning, and I went in with Mama Tiger energy, and I'm having a hard time connecting with her general ed teacher because there's just not as much communication when you're dropping the kid off in the special day class. Like that, it just is what it is.
There's such a lack there, and it's so that there should not be that lack there.
No. And I have been so lost in what's going on in our own world. I've lost the ability to think about what could be going on in someone else's world. And I normally, it's so quick for me to think that normally. And I'm like, oh, wow, I really am drowning if that's not one of my first thoughts when I approach someone.
That's literally what I said in my text last night. I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm probably like a really big piece of shit friend right now.
Yeah. No, that too.
But I'm just fucking drowning.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's okay.
Right. Yeah. We
to
have
get to
let
where
it be
we
okay.
need to be.
Yeah.
And I always feel super guilty about it. And it's just, I think you should talk for a second about what you woke up to with the nail polish and stuff. And this is all what has been going on with us the past, let's say, week or two.
It's been like a week.
We just want to talk about
Band-Aids, medicines, nail polish, and then everything you were going to talk about. So I woke up Sunday morning. We had this wonderful evening, and the girls played together so beautifully. It was so fun, like such a cup filling kind of evening. And we get home, we go to sleep, and then I wake up with my daughter, and we wanted to watch the movie that you started at your house.
Oh yeah, Ruby Gilman.
And, I was like, oh yeah, great. So like I am laying on the couch with Ada. I can touch her body. I can feel her body. We're watching this movie, and I fall back asleep. And I was home by myself this weekend with no other parent in the house. And all of a sudden I wake up and Harvey's on the couch and no Ada. And I pause the movie and realize it's been 40 minutes.
Oh shit. Yep.
So I jump up and I find Ada in our room, and usually it's my makeup. And so 40 minutes of makeup play could mean like, I don't know, I'm not going to guess, but a lot of money in today's world in like half decent makeup, But no, somehow she climbed up to the highest shelf in my closet. And I later asked her how she did it, and she didn't remember. And I legitimately believe that she didn't remember how she did it.
100%.
Because it was just, there were no logical thoughts. It was just impulsivity. I've got to get to it. Why she even saw it, I don't know. But it was my travel bag, and I always keep a tiny bit of medicine, children's medicine, in my travel bag so that it's there, so I don't get somewhere and forget not have it. So it was just like the tiniest bit of medicine that was left inside the house and my nail polish bag. And, that brings me my weird win. Okay, I'll pause on that one. So anyway, I found her making a potion in the carpet. There was like a, 6-inch diameter circle of like purple shampoo, some Benadryl, children's Benadryl pills mashed up, and nail polish in the carpet. And then like splattered nail polish on the carpet.
Like a murder scene. We should just tell you guys.
Yeah,
It was a
pretty
murder
much
scene of nail polish.
No, that's true. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna clean this up? You know, I'm feeling so guilty because I should have had a better eye on her. I shouldn't have let myself fall asleep. What if it was something dangerous? Oh my God, where's the acetone? Just all these thoughts are going through my mind. So, okay, this is TMI. I don't know how else to explain this story without saying TMI.
Because people need a picture in their head of what this scene is like. I feel like a lot of people can't get on this level, and we need to like literally paint a picture.
It's a little bit embarrassing
of what it's like.
But I realized early on in our parenting journey that like, oh, if my husband's going to use the toilet as a thinking chair, I can too.
I'm dead.
So that's become one of my spaces to like, what the fuck is going on? How am I going to deal with this? I'm like, I think I'm red in the face. It's kind of embarrassing. But I mean, hey, we said that we would always say our truth. And
this is where we're at right now.
Putting it all out there. So I was sitting down on my thinking chair, okay? And
so dead.
My hand in my face. And I'm like, how am I going to get this up from the carpet? What if something really happened? I'm like all these just spiraling thoughts. And then I take my hand away and I see on our real marble tile floor, which by the way, the guy at the tile store told me, you don't want real marble. And I was like, no, yeah, I do.
Girl, shut up.
And he was like, I promise you, you don't. You're going to regret it. I was like, no, I won't. Yeah, I fucking regret it. So I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So anyway, pull my hand down and I see like splatters and a line of nail polish.
Hot pink, by the way, you guys.
Hot pink on the door, all across the tile. And I get up and it was like this movie scene, like, da-na, da-na, na-na, you know? And I'm pulling my pants up and I see in our big concrete sink, white concrete bathroom sink, is like a massive pile of dried nail polish. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this just ruined our bathroom.
Yep.
Our bathroom's ruined. Like, I don't know how that's going to come up. So at that point, I'm just full-blown tears. I call my husband. Oh, I'm so sorry.
The property damage is always a gut wrench.
Oh, it's such a gut wrench. So anyway, so that was a real hard morning. Not even necessarily because of the property damage. It's like all the things that come up because of that. Like what could have happened? What if she really hurt herself? What if she, overdosed on one of the children's medicines? Yep. I don't know. Is that possible?
All the fucking what ifs.
It's just like, it's so terrifying. And I felt like a real shit mom. And now I have a ruined bathroom. I couldn't care less about the carpet over by my bed. No one sees it. I don't care. Hot pink. I love that color.
I think it's just what comes with it. It's just like, great.
Yeah.
Here we are. I'm going to cry moving all my knives and kitchen stuff out to the fucking garage. Because what an inconvenience. But it's also because we have a special needs kid. And these are things you don't think about. And like I told you, I was like, I love you. We have to move all your shit places. And it really sucks that you're at that point. But if you can get 10 minutes of being able to fucking breathe and like attempting to get to baseline, you have to settle in.
Yeah, settle in. That's right. So I spent the rest of that day just really kind of sulking. We had plans that you can always cancel plans, right? Let's just say that. You can always cancel plans if you really need to. These plans were ones like we were going swimming. My kids love swimming. It's like such a healthy thing for them. They're content. I get a minute. But I was going to be around other humans. And it was just
sometimes
one of those.
Fucking hard.
Yeah, it was just one of those times where like, I don't want to make small talk right now. This was like a really life or death situation, actually.
Yeah, big deal.
That just happened. And it's like you tell someone, oh, my kid got in the nail polish this morning and made a potion with medicine. And it's like most people really are just like, oh gosh, that's awful.
But they don't understand, like, you instantly think of what could have happened because seriously, what could have fucking happened?
And that's quite possibly the next thing that will happen.
Yep, 100%.
It doesn't pass. It doesn't get better. You just have to settle into it and figure out how to make it work. And that's why, so I spent all day yesterday. I mean, our garage is a hoarder's garage. It just is what it is. And I spent all day yesterday cleaning it out, reorganizing everything, and made room for everything. So we're getting everything into the garage. We've got the child locks on the doors, the stop signs. She's, you know, we're starting to use the language that will really kind of help teach her.
I feel like you guys are going through right now a lot of, and this comes back to not having the diagnosis, right?
Yes, exactly. We still don't have it. How do you go through all this stuff at home and not have a diagnosis? That it baffles me. Like, I don't understand.
I feel like we were prepared in the sense because when we got the diagnosis, I started, you know, doing all the small things, picture icons, all the crap.
Yeah.
But like, it wouldn't have went that way as hardcore if we didn't have a diagnosis.
Right. Yeah. We're just always kind of like
almost
a step behind.
I was just going to say, it's almost like I get to be 1 or 2 steps ahead as much as one can be because I can know, I know the track we're on. But you guys are like, oh, we have to wait till something fucking bad happens before you can even.
Yeah. We're just like,
no, what the fuck
where
to do?
are we on this journey? She's going to let us know. And she does.
And then you guys have to fucking catch up and figure it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's another hard one. But anyway, we're settling in. We're leveling up to her level in the video game.
Settling in. I love that.
Yeah.
That was a good phrase.
Yeah.
I think. Settling in, I don't want to say it's about accepting. I hate saying that because
I know.
I accept how my child is.
100%. We love them exactly as they are.
I feel like what we're going through at this moment in time, it's just like she's leveling up. And by this stage, I was like, oh, by the time we're in first grade, everything's going to be going smooth. She's going to be super communicating well. And all these great things are going to happen. We're not going to have icons anymore in the house. Like, we're going to be at this great space. And then here we are, like, literally on Tuesday, I sat for 2 hours with the ABA therapist and we literally took pictures detailed about how to teach Ellie to go to the bathroom because the regular stuff just is not working. So we literally sat down in the bathroom and I pulled out, we were like, how many pieces of toilet paper should she be using? Let's teach her to count to 6 squares of toilet paper. And just such this detailed thing. And I literally was just like, and then I was all pumped when he was there and then he left and I was just like, I'm going to cry now because what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, we're still here. And I know that's our journey, but sometimes it's hard to fucking settle into that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're leveling up when I was hoping we were going to level down. I don't know. Call me
or just
optimistic.
Just maintain.
I don't know, but
right? Because when you're we're using this analogy a lot, but it's like really clicking. But like when you're on one level of the video game, it's like, you learn all the secrets, you learn all the things. So even if we just stay there, like we're good. But I
never knew what to call it until you called it leveling up. And literally I was just like, what the fuck? I get it.
Yeah.
My tools and tricks and tips aren't working. It's a brand new fucking level that we have to learn to play.
Well, I told you, I feel like the fat Mario stuck in the tube with my arms out. Like, no, stop that. Like, no, do that. Like, that's all the amount of control I have is like, I'm stuck in this tube and watching my daughter just like, do all these things.
Wreak havoc, basically.
Yes. I just haven't, that's all I can do.
Watching her eat the mushrooms and throwing the fireballs and you're just like,
and she's gonna cry because she bonked her head on the coin thing, Oh, now we're crying. I'm over here. Come here. No, she doesn't want to because she has PDA. Like,
it's not funny, but it's funny. We have to laugh about it.
We have to
what
laugh.
can you do?
Yeah, what can you do? Yep.
So we're both just drowning, but here we are, freaking.
Yep.
Doing it.
Laugh or cry. Laugh or cry. Okay, so dare we go into your stuff?
I feel like I don't know. Like I always say too, things can be worse, and I totally understand that. But it's just been every fucking day. Every day. It started out.
Heavy stuff for you.
School has not been working out. We did kindergarten with this school. We're now a month into school. And it's just very clear that Ellie is not made for a general ed classroom setting, even with a Cadillac of an IEP and 900 accommodations and a one-to-one aide. It is not working for us. Mm-hmm. So we are currently awaiting, on Thursday, we have a really big IEP meeting coming up where we are in this massive thing of like, what do we want her future right now to look like? And not even the future. What are we going to do to get through this freaking school year? Mm-hmm. So we have been looking into the special needs school, which is just a whole nother level of like, this really settling in. Like this is our life. And we toured the school, and then I was just in this big darkness of like, she could thrive here. And that's just hard to accept when in my head I was like, we're going to be great in first grade. We're going to get through school with a one-to-one aide. We have a phenomenal teacher, a phenomenal freaking aide. And that's just not where we're at.
Yeah.
And then it's just been one thing after another. Picked her up from school. Oh, she ate Play-Doh today. Picked her up from school. She ate rocks today. Picked her up from school. She eloped 10 times today. Refused to do any schoolwork. Oh, she was actually up on the playground for 30 minutes. No one could get her down. Okay, just every day. Mm-hmm. And then on Friday, it was just like the icing on the freaking cake. It was like, well, she doesn't like water on her. And somehow in the typical freaking classroom, Ellie had gotten water on herself and stripped all of her clothes off in front of all the fucking kids. Mm-hmm. And then that is where I totally resonated with you. It's just like, people don't get to see her like we see her. And then right now, from all this dysregulation, like we're not seeing her.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that that's a big piece to it, right? Because like we can tell our friends and family, we can talk about what's going on at school and these things like she's eating rocks, she won't come down from the playground. But like as parents, we hear these things and it's like, that's not who my child is.
Yes.
This is not who she's meant to be. This is not, like, you're not even seeing a glimpse into the positive things that they have to bring to this world.
And her teacher was just like, I really hope I get to see this side of her. And I was just like, that's fucked up. And I just cried. And then the teacher, she's seriously so phenomenal. And she said it in a kind way too. She was just very much like, I really hope we get to see this side of her. I hope something can happen and we can see this. And I was just
What's fucked up is that she hasn't yet.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm just like, nope, no more. And then we had I'm just telling you, the past month has just been so many weird things, but our house is pretty childproof, but they get into weird shit. You never know what you're going to get into.
Yeah.
And I know, please don't judge me. She has her technology a lot, and we let her charge her devices and play on them at the same time. And we had a very scary experience the other night, and she chomped down on her cord really hard when she was playing on her iPad, and she electrocuted herself. Who knew I was very unaware that you could even do that with a phone charger, that it could zap you, and it very much did. Took a long time to investigate and figure out because she could not communicate. She just kept like holding her little throat and coughing. My 17-year-old found her, and Ellie was like not unresponsive, but she'd been zapped. So her little body was like stunned. So she starts screaming bloody murder. My son, who is always afraid of her anyways, comes running in, and he's screaming bloody murder because he thinks his sister's dead.
Afraid of her getting hurt.
Yep.
Or hurting herself.
And it was a fucking really traumatic experience on top of all the school and just all the life normal things that happened. Then the very next night, I trusted my mom gut, and I was just like, I'm going to sit in here with her while she eats her sausages that she eats every night in bed, has been for 3 or 4 years now almost. I sat in there and she just kept telling me, good night, mommy. And I'm like, no, girl, I'm going to sit here with you, like, and make sure she's been doing a lot of things just very mindlessly. I don't know how you would say that, but she's just going through the motions and not paying attention to really anything she's doing.
Well, like Ada climbing up to the highest shelf in
Yes.
my closet. There's no step system for her to get up
And
there.
she didn't even know how she
Has
did it or what
no
she was
idea
doing.
how
Yet.
she
She just
did it.
varies, just like kind of like a
Yeah.
little robot or zombie going through
Yeah.
the motions of like her life basically
Yeah.
right now. And then I was fine, like, okay, she's done eating. I'm gonna go to bed. And I'm like, here's your melatonin. And she grabbed it from my hand and she just sucked it up. Started choking. Like a real choke, not just, oh, it's gonna like go down. She just like, it went down the wrong way or whatever. Full blown choking. I panicked. Even though she's too big, I learned I should have just been able to Heimlich her. I jumped in her bed, grabbed her, put her like right here on my knee. I beat the fuck out of her back, probably 15 something times. I was screaming bloody murder. My husband was asleep. He comes running in. Here comes my poor son crying. Ellie finally projectile vomits up the melatonin. Her poor little face, eyes, everything was swollen, broken blood vessels. I kept her home from school the next day. I'm like, dude, we just got fucking electrocuted. And
Poor girl needs a minute.
really 2 fucking really traumatic experiences in 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
I leave her home from school. We do ABA therapy and she's just shining. And her therapist he's been with us since March, I think. And he was like, oh my God, I understand what you're saying now. She was so regulated today. I got her to sit down and do so many things I had no idea. And he was like, I don't mean this in any bad way because it's his job and he sees so much hope in every kid. And he was like, I have so much hope for her. And he was like, when I saw what she could sit down and do being regulated, I cannot believe everything she knows. And then the very next day, I sent her to school and he had therapy and she was so non-compliant. And he was like, I get it now. I fully see I see the Ellie you see all the time and why you're so upset that people don't get to see her. And then I saw that tired, exhausted, dysregulated version of her.
I'm so sorry. My dog's having a nightmare.
So what's happening?
Sapphire.
I was like, what is Safi doing?
I'm so sorry.
Oh. Maybe if you got in your own bed and not the puppy's bed, Safi.
Right? Okay, let's do a refill too.
Yes, but I feel like we are just going through so much heavy things. And then in a matter...
That's really interesting that the therapist saw such a difference in her.
He was like doing this VB map thing where he was trying to actually sit down and see get a grasp on what she does know, you know? And he was literally blown away. He was like, I have so much hope for that girl. She needs to be in the correct environment. She's definitely not accessing her education right now.
Yeah.
So while we're dealing with the stress of trying to find her what her school needs to look like, is it going to hurt her putting her in the special needs school? She is in this limbo, and our school district got rid of special day classrooms 3 years ago.
That's so crazy to me.
So she is in this freaking limbo of, I don't even want to say not special needs enough. I don't know what the correct terminology is. I hope no one hates me for the things that I'm saying, but she's in this limbo of where she's too severe to be in a general ed classroom, but maybe not severe enough to be in the special needs school. But we are asking for assessments to be done to see if that is even an option for us, because
good.
I feel like if she can stay regulated and learn, maybe that's what we do for 1 or 2 or 3 years, and then have all of our hopes that she can go back into the public school setting. And if not, that's fine. But it's a lot to comprehend almost, you know? It's just another one of those grief and...
It's a lot to process.
Yes. And I just feel like on top of going through this IEP and finding her this stuff, we're fucking leveling up at home and we are screaming bloody murder all the time. She actually tried to beat up her brother and beat up her big sister, which she's like never done. Just even yesterday when Harvey was over, did he tell you what happened with Ellie flipping out so bad? Miles took her Switch upstairs, which I didn't know. And she was screaming for the Switch even though she wasn't playing it. And I thought she saw Harvey's because his is black and it looks his looks more like the new Switch. And I was like, no, Ellie, your Switch is downstairs. She sat at the top of the stairs and screamed and kicked solid for a solid hour. And the poor boys, I was like, just don't come out and lock Miles's door. And the AB therapist was like, oh, I haven't seen this sort of meltdown. I was like, this is brand new. Like, we are just going through all the stuff.
Yeah.
And then, she flooded.
Was her Switch really in there?
Yeah, Miles had the Switch.
Oh.
And I was like, he's like, it has all the games. So then he was sad. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on Target.com right now. Pick out any game you want. And instead of us buying the digital ones that need swapped, we're just going to buy double. And he can just buy the hard copies of games. Yeah. And he can just be responsible for those. And so he can play them anytime he wants. And it's the only thing I can think of to get through this situation.
Right.
But then, she flooded the freaking bathroom. I was trying to get through this. We were meeting with our legal advocate for our IEP meeting. I needed to get it done. She really wanted water play. I should have taken the 20 minutes to set her up appropriately, and I didn't. I just turned on the bathroom water, shut it off, plugged it up, let her play with her Legos. Everything was fine. 10 minutes later, went up, got her. Everything was good. I left the house later, went to a birthday party. She tried to do that herself and left the water running, and just Blake was like, I was sitting there in the chair and the roof started raining. And I was like, we've just had such big things happen. I feel like you just think everything's going so smooth all of a sudden. We're like, oh, we have all this down and everything's not easy, but
we got it.
But we got it.
Yeah.
And then she has a lot of poop and digestive issues. And that's another big thing we're trying to make a big change with right now. So all of a sudden we're going to UCSF next week, and we're going to put a little tube up her nose and do a medical grade traumatic clean out.
Well, let's not undermine how traumatic, they literally are telling you how traumatic.
And we've done hospital stays a lot for her EEG and her epilepsy stuff. And the lady was just like, no, I just want to tell you, this is going to be super traumatic. So I feel like, what the fuck? We've just been really through a traumatic couple of weeks.
Right.
And now I got to go deal with Frisco. At least the IEP is going to be up before we leave. But
well, I think in what I've kind of had to slowly process, you're saying, we don't have a diagnosis. So, right, we're kind of always on the tail end of it. And so it's been kind of a slow realization for me that special needs parenting doesn't allow the nervous system to recover. And that's kind of like we get into this mode of smooth sailing, and it's oh, I can do this. And it's because
it's cleaning up poop every day, no problem. Not sleeping, no problem. This is easy.
Right. And then you get into this stuff, and you had traumatic events one night after another, and then you're going to have this traumatic hospital stay while doing similar things to what I'm doing, which is getting more stuff out of the house, safety proofing the whole house even more. And then you're packing for this whole trip to San Francisco, and then you're gonna be there, and it's gonna be this traumatic week, and then you're gonna get home and you don't know what to expect from the results of this. And you're gonna have to, at some point, your nervous system at some point needs to recover, but we don't get to. We don't always get that luxury. It's just nope, okay, we just tied another knot in the nervous system, and that's how we live now.
Honestly, I'm okay, it's not going to be a break at the hospital, but we're going to be...
Someone else will clean it.
Someone else is going to clean the shit that's coming out, and I'm not the one causing that trauma. And I'm oh, we just decided Ellie was very heavily reliant on her AAC device when she was younger. And we've went about 6 months without using it at all. It's just been in the cabinet. We upgraded to a bigger version. And anyways, she communicates, but she's a gestalt language learner.
Which means that she mimics a lot, right?
Yeah, this morning I was come on, Ellie, let's get up. We got to go to school today. Let's go downstairs and get your stuff from your charging station. And she was oh no, too scary. But really, she just wanted to be I want to lay in my bed for 5 more minutes, but I just don't know how to ask that, So she uses phrases that she's already learned to communicate. So the school is she communicates, and I'm she learned that quote from watching YouTube, and she's just saying it in there. So I finally, a month ago, told speech. I was okay, I'm ready to reintroduce the AAC if you think we need it. If not, no problem. So she was able to do an assessment, and she was like, I really think we should use it to give her those options when she can't find words and to just help her expand her vocabulary and get her out of this gestalt processing if we have a chance to. Let's do it. So then literally Monday was my first AAC thing, and I'm like, oh, we're starting this right now. Okay, cool. So yesterday I just like sat there for an hour and all these notes on, the page I need to be working on and the things I need to do to try to get the AAC back and going and how to start reintroducing it. And I was like, oh, I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
It's too much. So I'm like, okay, maybe while I'm sitting in the hospital, if I have time, I can start to work on this freaking page. And
right. While your daughter's going through this extremely traumatic experience.
And I was just telling her, I think we're ready. Like a month ago, I was like, I think I'm ready. And if we need to use the AAC, I feel ready to bring it back. Like, what do we need to do? Feeling good. And then all of a sudden, it's just, what the fuck? Let's add all these new icons. Let's get more supports for things.
Yeah.
We got to change our language for this. Things are changing. And it's like,
dude, I feel the same. I fought hard for occupational therapy, like toward the end of last school year, and which has been about 6 months now. And Ada needs it. But it's not like the most pressing issue in our lives.
I feel the exact same way about occupational therapy.
And it got to a point like, right, the assessment was overwhelming for me. Bless the person on the other end. She was so wonderful. And like, I've never felt more supported by like, well, maybe Dr. Kissinger. I felt really supported. But like the assessment process, it's rare that you feel really supported and not judged. And, and like she did so wonderful. But that was really overwhelming. The questionnaires were really overwhelming. And I should have just kind of called it like, look, if I can't even do this part, I don't know if we're going to be able to fit this in. And then it got to the point where they were like, you've been approved. And I'm like, oh, yay. And then they're like, let's get in touch about scheduling. And I was like, nope.
Okay.
Sorry. That's where I call it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. We can't.
We dropped occupational too, actually. She does it at school, but it's a one therapy we don't also like. She does speech at school, but we also do speech at home.
I really hope she's able to do it at school soon. Yeah, it gets to a point where it's like you have to prioritize certain mental health things over others. And like first of all, that would really tear her up to fit another thing in right now.
Yep.
And I know for a fact it would be hard on me.
Well,
and then I have a whole nother child that can't be locked at home because we have whole nother therapy.
Therapies has to be a whole episode.
Dude.
But I was just talking to my girlfriend who works full time, has a baby, and then her child has medical needs on top of autism and the other things. So she's in this whole different realm that I cannot even wrap my head around,
Yeah.
And she was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Am I a bad mom for just not doing this therapy for a while? And I was literally like, no, because we don't have an end goal.
Yeah.
We are on this forever fucking journey. So it's not like Miles. He had to do physical therapy. So I had to jump into that, which is fine. He's got that 8-week period. There's an end. There's no end for our kids. And so I feel like whatever, we all still have to also stay afloat in the home. And so occupational therapy.
Yeah.
I do once a week of speech parent training. I do a once a week ABA parent training. And then it was doing the occupational once a week thing because then she was working with me for an hour every week. And then I was taking notes and I was implementing everything throughout the week. And then I was just like, oh my God, I just can't do this.
It's too much.
And she's doing it at school and she's getting what she needs from school. Like her eyes don't track super correctly. So she's getting that need met at school.
Yeah.
Which is super important. And the occupational therapist at her school, phenomenal. She gets it. And Ellie is actually getting a lot from that.
Good.
If she wasn't getting a lot from that, I would probably figure out how to make that shit happen.
Yeah.
But I'm like, she needs to learn to dress herself. I can teach her how to dress herself. Yeah. We don't need it for, I don't know. Occupational is Ellie basically thrives there in some ways. I just have to take the time to teach her to do it. And so I tried tips and tricks and teaching her to get dressed, and she's finally just learning. I try to tell her, like with the tags, I'm like, words go on the butt. And she knows it and she says it, but she still can't figure out how to do it. So we're just not there yet, but I just researched
What do you mean words
stuff.
go in the butt?
It's like her underwear don't have like a paper tag. They just have like the stamp tag.
Yeah.
So I just try to teach her
underwear.
words. Yes. That's the thing we're trying to work on.
Yes.
I'm like, words go to the butt. And so every time she gets her underwear out, I can hear her, words go in the butt.
Ada
Words go in
still
the butt.
repeats that too. Oh my gosh, yes.
But they never make it to her butt.
Right.
But she knows and she's saying it. So that's a freaking plus.
Okay, but how cute is it when they come in with like one leg through the waist hole and like
always what she does.
Right? And it's like, you did
And then I see her picking her little butt and I'm like, oh, sweetie, they're on sideways and inside out and backwards.
You did it. But can I help you?
Yeah, great job. Let me help you.
Right? No, it's a constant battle of like of balancing like our own mental health, our own life schedules, and also what our children desperately need just for survival.
Yep.
And that's a really, really hard, line to toe sometimes because that's where the guilt comes from.
100%. And this is what my girlfriend just made me start thinking massively about all this stuff. And like, therapy burnout, I feel like is a real thing.
Yeah.
And so I just literally started really thinking about she needs all the things, but like what is most ABA
Yeah.
to us in our home?
Same.
I am like fighting for 5 days a week of ABA. That has been so life-changing to us. I know it's a very controversial situation, but.
Well, and we will always stand on, the thought process that you have to do what's right for your children, for your family. Yeah. And if it's not ABA, that's fine. But there's no judgment on any of it because every human being is different. Every family is different. Every ABA company is different.
They have been
but for us, that's been a really, really huge lifeline.
I literally messaged them both the other day and I was like, I just want to say I'm sorry. I feel like maybe I'm like a needy client. Do your other clients text you randomly? Like I text you? I don't know, but it's just like, I keep them so involved because they literally help us get through life. Yeah. And I'm so thankful that our team is freaking fire right now. Yeah. And literally I'm like, she rocks today. I just like send out a text and he's like, okay, what if we order her like a vibrating Chewy or just what if we do this? And then I was like, our toileting issues are still going nowhere. And he was like, okay, let's simplify this. I'll take some pictures. We'll do this.
Yeah.
I just feel like they have been, the past 2 weeks, I've been so freaking reliant on them for everything that is going on right now. They've been super detrimental to like the leveling up and hardness right now of what is happening. So,
well, it's like when we come up on these like very possible life-threatening situations, and then you get to talk to someone who's going to help problem solve.
Yep. I feel like life, like you said, life was so manageable.
Yeah.
But then I look at it and I'm like, oh, this is normal. It's normal that my kid poops on the floor every 3 days.
Right.
It's normal that I don't find her for an hour because she loves to play peacefully in her room and she does not notify us. And I used to cry all the time, like almost every time. And sometimes I still do. I pick up a turd and then I just cry. I'm like, oh, here we are still just like picking up shit off the fucking floor.
I could tell when we were over there and you were cleaning shit off of her bed. I could tell you just wanted to break down and
I was
cry.
trying so hard not to. She had pooped and then wiped it in a place I didn't know about for 2 days. Mm-hmm. And then my daughter does not allow humans into her room. It is her safe space. I have a big rule in my house so that you're not welcome in anyone's rooms. That is a safe space of their own. So if Miles does not want in her room, I don't care if she cries for 20 hours, I'm going to super respect his space. So we have a toy room downstairs. All kids are welcome to shred at all times. But if the kids don't want things going on in their rooms, it is just something that I hold very firmly to. And we have been hanging out for a solid 2 years, I feel like. Is that what we said?
Year and a half.
Yeah. And for the first time ever on Saturday, when we were struggling, just drowning in life
oh my gosh,
and cocktailing at 2 p.m., and trying, we were like laugh crying essentially, like just being together was just the best therapy. And her daughter actually went up to Ellie's room, and Ellie, this is going to be the weird win.
Yeah.
Ellie let Ada into her room, and Morgan texts me and she's like, come upstairs. And I'm like, what is happening?
I ran up because I realized Ada was quiet and I was like, oh no. So I ran upstairs and I got to the top of the stairs and I could hear Ada, hi Ellie, what are you doing? And Ellie was like,
hi friend, let's play.
yeah. And I was like, oh my God, Sadie, come upstairs. But then I instantly hit like a smiley emoji or something because I realized that could very much come across as like,
Right?
life-threatening emergency.
So they were playing
good.
so well. But then I was on the floor picking up, and then I looked over and I saw the finger swipes of hardened poop all over the side of her bed. And I was just like, oh, hold on, please. While we're talking, the kids are playing, I need to grab wipes because that's dried shit from 2 days ago
Right.
on my kid's fucking bed.
Put this amazing play date on hold.
And then we
Yeah.
sat on the stairs in the stairwell and drank cocktails while the girls actually played.
It was not parallel play. It was
Actual
interacting
frickin' play.
imagination.
For like 2 hours on and off, I would
oh
say.
my God. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It was just ended up being, for what a shit day.
Yes.
It was a little
Yes.
little light
Yeah.
at the end of it,
Yeah.
which is what we need and what we survive off of, I feel like.
Okay. Maybe we should start just saying our weird wins when they come up in our conversation because I forgot mine. What was my weird win?
I don't know what you were saying. I'm always like, I have so many weird wins. That wasn't even my weird win. That's like a major
Okay.
win. That should not even be a weird win. That's a major win.
Oh, that was a huge
Strike
win.
that
Yeah. Not a weird win.
from weird win.
Just massive win. Period.
Massive
Yeah.
fucking win.
But maybe from now on, as we're talking, and if we think of a weird win, we're just like, oh, hashtag weird win.
Yep.
And so that we don't forget, because I forgot.
I forget too. Damn Mimosi.
I know. Gosh. Anyway, I'll re-listen and then I'm sure I'll say the weird win at some point that I thought of already while we were talking. Well, do you feel good about everything?
I mean, I just feel like there's so much shit, but I think that was
so
the,
much shit.
I think that was the gist. I think it's basically just we have had so many major traumatic things happening when we've done so well for
Yeah.
so well as you can be.
Yeah.
I feel like we've had so many wins and going so smooth, and then we've just had a really hard month. But the past couple weeks has just been fucking one thing after another, and I am fucking shot.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, same. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. We wanted to cancel because my laundry, you can't walk in my room or open my closet door.
Same.
But here we are. Sometimes
Here
you
we
gotta
are.
just fucking do what you need.
Sometimes you have to get together and mildly crush it.
Yes! That's why they came up with the name.
Right? Like, we're here. We look good. We're doing this. We're talking about all the things, but at
look good.
home, there's a fucking disaster.
I will say
you know?
too. Yeah, I just will say this again. I got pink eye also on top of all this.
Oh, no, you haven't said that yet.
I've not said this. I've been checking
Yeah.
my daughter's stool for fucking rocks that she ate at school.
That should be your weird win.
That is my, the gloves. Yeah. Oh, weird win.
Hashtag weird win.
Yay!
I got pink eye for the third time.
Such a good weird
But it should be a new thing, pink eyes, because I had both.
Oh, no.
All these times I've had it. And then I walked in urgent care, and the lady's like, oh, my pink eye's frequent flyer. And I was like, dope. I'm so happy that I'm known for that. And then she came back in with a bubble wand for Ellie because she knows. Because every time I'm like, man, I swear I wash my hands, but I'm digging through her stool every time for something or another. And she literally was like, this is for your daughter. And I was like, oh, you're so awesome. Thank you so much. Where's my prescription for my eye drops? Anyways, weird win. My daughter gets from Shield Healthcare through insurance. We get diapers and wet wipes paid for since she's 6 years old and still not potty trained. And I just learned that I could get medical gloves. So when I'm looking
approved by insurance.
Yes. So
Yeah.
now with my monthly wet wipes and diapers, I am going to get medical cases of medical gloves. So when I am looking through stools for rocks and Legos, I will hopefully not get pink eyes anymore. So
Weird win. That's such a good one. I love that so much.
Embarrassed.
I love that so much.
I swear I washed my hands. What the fuck?
That's so funny. Well, a different weird win, and in full transparency, I can't remember the weird win that I brought up earlier in this episode.
I'm good.
So my weird win, actually, I had this realization in the last couple weeks where I was like, gosh, why can't life just be a little easier? Right? Because we all get stuck in those thoughts. Like, they're not helpful, but we all spiral in those thoughts. I think that, well, at least I tell myself that's natural and normal, but maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, I was stuck in this spiral, and then I realized, you know what? I remember like right when Ada was born, I just felt like I was drowning just as much as I am now. And yeah, it was just this realization that like if life actually was easier on paper, I would feel like I'm drowning just as much.
Yep.
And that kind of made me feel better. Like, I don't know if it's a win.
I could not agree more.
But
it's
yeah.
definitely a win. You can reframe your thinking a little bit. That's a win.
So anyway, so that's my weird win for today. Maybe I'll rewind and think of the other one at some point. But
I think that just to sum it all up,
yeah,
we're all always gonna drown. And
Yes.
sometimes we're gonna feel on top of it.
yes,
And then, like I said, this is so cliche or whatever, but it really is like we are just in the waves. And sometimes you were just
Yep.
like cruising on your surfboard. And then sometimes it's like that Moana when she like wrecks on the boat and then
Yep.
she's just like tangling underneath the water,
Yeah.
I just feel like
yeah.
right now that is where we are. And
And if you don't reach your hand up, no one knows you need help.
yeah,
I think that's a big takeaway. And everything's relative. And so
everything is relative. That's what I would say. Your
Yeah.
feelings are so valid. And
Yeah.
there is this typical life out there that
Yeah.
people see, and it's just not realistic.
Yeah. Yep. No matter where you are in the spectrum of typical to
Yep.
divergent, it doesn't matter where you fall. It's
All valid.
yes.
All fucking hard.
Yes.
Anything that disrupts that natural pace of living is hard to accept. So this episode is going to lead us right into our next episode. We would love you guys to check out just about living in grief and gratitude, essentially, with
Yeah.
the special needs life. So
Yeah.
we hope to see you guys then.
Yeah. So cheers to another episode.
Cheers.
And thanks for joining us.
Follow us on
Follow
Facebook and Instagram. Oh wait, you follow us
And
on
you-
Instagram?
follow on
Like us on Facebook? Check out fucking YouTube? I don't know yet. I'm so sorry. I will learn. The hashtag play along with Weird Win and
Oh
Mom
my
Guilt
gosh.
Bingo. Because
That-
those are fun. I just want to see everything.
Mom Guilt Bingos and Weird Wins.
We are here because we feel alone and we don't want to
Yes.
feel alone. And we know there's other moms out there like us. So
Yeah.
we'd love to see what everyone else is going through.
Yes. Please, please, please. That would mean the world. So, okay. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.